You've been there, right? New Year's resolution, a fresh planner, a sudden burst of motivation. You say, "This is the week I'm going to the gym every day after work." Or, "This is the month I'm finally going to finish that online course." You have the intention, you have the desire. And then life happens. You're tired after work, that new season of your favorite show just dropped, the couch looks really comfortable. Suddenly, that gap between what you intended to do and what you actually do feels like a giant canyon. What if I told you that relying on willpower to cross that canyon is like trying to jump it on a BOGO stick? Your brain hates raw willpower. It's unreliable and drains fast. But what if there was a shockingly simple two-word trick that could build a bridge across that canyon? A technique so powerful, it makes taking action almost automatic? Get ready, because today on Brainful Bites, we are diving into the science of implementation intentions. This is the if-then secret that closes the gap between intention and action, and it's going to change the way you tackle your goals forever. All right, let's get real. The intention-action gap isn't laziness, it's using the wrong tool. Willpower, your brain's most limited resource. But what if you could pre-program your brain to act without even thinking about it? That's the magic of an implementation intention. It's a simple plan that takes the form, if this specific situation happens, then I will perform this specific action. For example, instead of the vague goal, "I'll go to the gym more," you create a concrete plan. If it's 5:30 p.m. and I've just parked my car after work, then I will immediately walk into the gym. This isn't just a productivity hack, the science is rock solid. A massive 2006 meta-analysis by researchers Peter Gollwitzer and Pascal Sheeran found 94 different studies and found that forming an if-then plan had a medium to large effect on whether people actually achieved their goals. We're talking about a powerful, consistent boost across health, academics, and productivity. So how does this simple sentence hijack your brain for success? It works through a process called strategic automaticity. When you create an if-then plan, you're giving your brain a very specific job. The if part, the cue, turns your brain into a heat-seeking missile. It starts scanning your environment, constantly on the lookout for that specific time, place, or preceding action you defined. Once your brain spots the cue, the then part, the action, is triggered almost automatically, with far less conscious effort. A 2008 study by Webb and Sheeran confirmed this, showing that the effects are driven by making the cue more accessible and forging a strong link between the cue and your response, not by just boosting your motivation. You're essentially creating an instant habit, a mental shortcut that bypasses the need to debate or procrastinate. The real-world evidence for this is stunning. Let's look at a classic 1997 study by Gollwitzer and Bronsdatter. They asked students to identify a difficult project they wanted to complete over the Christmas break, a time notorious for distractions. The students who just had the goal, only about 22% of them finished their project. But the students who were prompted to create a specific if-then plan for when and where they would work on it, a whopping 62% of them got it done. That's nearly triple the success rate just from adding a simple plan. This works for critical health behaviors too. In 2000, researchers Sheeran and Orbel wanted to see if they could increase attendance for cervical cancer screenings. They prompted one group of women to form a simple plan for exactly when, where, and how they would schedule their appointment. The result? The women with an if-then plan had a 92% attendance rate compared to just 69% for the control group. That difference could literally save lives. And it scales. In a 2011 field study, Catherine Milkman and colleagues mailed employees flu shot reminders. Versions that ask people to write the exact date and time they'd go increased vaccination rates by about 4.2 percentage points, a tiny tweak with a big public health payoff. Now, there are a few ground rules. If-then plans work best when you're already committed to the goal, the cue is super specific, and the action is something you can actually do. A vague plan like, "If it's sometime this week, then I'll try to study," is useless. Your brain has nothing to lock onto. But a plan like, if it's 7 p.m. on Tuesday and I've finished dinner, then I will open my textbook to chapter 4, is a command your brain can execute. So, now that you're hyped on the science, let's build your toolkit. How can you put this incredible brain hack to work for you right now? First, turn vague goals into hyper-specific if-then plans. Take any goal on your to-do list and translate it into the if-then format. Don't say, I'll work on my presentation. Say, if it is 9 a.m. tomorrow morning after I've poured my coffee, then I will open the presentation file and work on it for 25 minutes. Be precise about the time, the place, and the trigger. Put the cue in your calendar to make it official. Second, piggyback on existing routines. Use habits you already have, aka habit stacking. Instead of trying to find a new time to meditate, link it to something you already do without fail. For example, if I put my empty coffee mug in the dishwasher, then I will immediately sit down and meditate for 5 minutes. Your existing routine becomes the trigger for the new one, making it almost effortless. Third, create coping plans for obstacles. This is where if-then planning becomes a superpower. Don't just plan for success, plan for failure. Anticipate the things that will try to derail you. For example, if I feel the urge to check social media while I'm working, then I will immediately close the tab and write down the one next step I need to take on my current task. You're not just avoiding a bad habit, you're replacing it with a concrete, productive action. Fourth, use plan prompts on yourself. Steal the idea from the flu shot study. When you add a task to your to-do list or calendar, add a little note that says, when and where will I do this? Just the act of prompting yourself to make a specific plan dramatically increases the odds that you'll follow through. And finally, refresh your plans when life changes. If your cue stops being reliable, say that 8 a.m. meeting moves, immediately form a new if-then with the reliable cue to keep the automation benefit. So there you have it. Instead of muscling through with willpower, use simple, specific if-then plans to offload action to your brain's automatic systems and save your effort when you truly need it. The intention-action gap is real, but it's not unbeatable. You're not lazy, you just need a better strategy, and now you have one of the most powerful ones ever discovered by cognitive science. What's one if-then plan you're going to create this week? Share it in the comments below. The act of writing it down will make it even more powerful. And if there's a brain bias or productivity problem you want us to tackle next, let us know. Until next time, keep your brain hungry and your plans specific.